When I first did the first shoot interview many, many years ago, I took this thing to a whole different level. It was bizarre. It was cutting edge. It was way, way out there. It was what we call out of bounds. It was talking out of school. It was all those things that the wrestlers themselves did not want the public to know about. And when I first sat down to do the first one, the people that were interviewing me back then, I asked, who have you had? And they said, well, we had Bill Watts, and we had Dusty Rhodes, and we had this. I said, well, how was it? And well, they really didn't answer the questions. I said, okay. And is there any question you don't want to answer? I said, I don't care. Ask me anything. So away we went. And we went way, way out there. I mean, we were talking about everything, up skirts and you name it, and we talked about it. Yes, wall builders. And we talked about a lot of things. And then the wrestlers, I get feedback from the wrestlers, not so much from the fans. A lot of the fans said, hey, I'm disgruntled, I'm an old guy. Well, yes, I am old. I'm 64 years old. I'm not ashamed of my age. It's like if you're a wealthy person and you want to not tell anybody, don't ever be ashamed of your wealth. Don't ever be ashamed of your education. Don't be ashamed of anything that's part of your life. Why? Unless you do some bad things that you end up, but still, we all make bad choices. Some of us make worse choices than others, and we have to live with those consequences. But by the same token, why would I be ashamed? When people would ask me about the wrestling business, what kind of business am I in? And I'd say professional wrestling. Years ago, it was looked down upon. And you would be ashamed to say that you're in professional wrestling. Believe me, Vince has taken professional wrestling, and they don't even call it wrestling over there anymore. They're not even supposed to mention the word wrestling. They've taken this thing to a whole new stratosphere. They're not ashamed. His wife is in the cabinet of the president as we speak. Vince had pictures of his whole family down at the White House not so long ago. So they've taken wrestling from being let's don't talk about this, into a whole different level. I've always wondered why a doctor or a lawyer or a judge or somebody, if you said, what kind of business you in? Well, I'm a city judge, night court judge or something. You go, oh, that's interesting. That's really a bullshit business, isn't it? Because that's what they'd say about that's fake, phony bullshit. Okay. So you as a night court judge, somebody comes in with a parking ticket that's been drummed up or speeding tickets have been drummed up because the city wants to make more money by writing more tickets. You go ahead and charge a guy $75, $80, $100, $200 for the ticket. Instead of you going, you know what? These cops that I'm working with over here, they're not very good. I'm not going to give you a ticket. A lot of times things are taken care of in the back room, but they don't tell us. The doctor's not going to tell you, I got a cut here. Can you show me how, while I'm sitting on a plane, can you tell me how to stitch myself up? He's not going to tell me that. But you know what? He will ask me when I'm on the plane. You guys really get together and talk that stuff over, don't you? It's like, don't insult me now. Don't insult me about it. So, but no, back to the shoot interviews. Now, it's like I said, back then, I guess you could say I got heat from a lot of the wrestlers and a lot of people in the industry. That Honky Tonk man, he's out there saying stuff. He's doing this, he's doing that. I've had guys say, oh man, I can't talk to you, man. You might say something bad about me. What do you mean? Oh, you've said these shoot interviews you've done. You've got a lot of heat with people. Really? Now, after all these years, I don't know how many it's been, a couple of decades maybe, every wrestler that I know of, once they have left WWE or WCW, mostly WWE guys, once they left WWE, they all lined up in a row and have done shoot interviews. Am I right or wrong? I mean, you guys tell me. You internet smartasses, tell me. They all lined up. Did any of those guys that said, hey, you're making enemies out here by talking all this shit, have you called me and said, you know what, because you did that shoot interview and because it sold so many copies, They've invited all of us to come and do them. And on that weekend when I didn't have anything to do, I made a nice little payday to sit down and say shit on camera. Now where are you smart guys? Not one of them have come to me and said, thanks, Honky, for opening that door. You know, I've done like 4 of those shoot interviews. I've done really well with them. Yeah, nobody. Nope. I'm still an asshole, though, because I still do them, I guess. I don't know. I just hope it clears up some of this nonsense that I've heard for years.